give you anything about them when I want your honest opinion about this person in my life. But if I want you to sit here and tell me this person is either good or bad, I'm either going to put implant the good or bad seeds into your head when you come, before they come. So that's what all Chaz was doing when it came to Vanessa, was implanting bad seeds into his brother's head when she came to the table. So the brother already has a notion to be like, yeah, I don't really know. I don't know about her. And he didn't do that with Patrice. So I was like, we already see where you're going with this, brother. Okay. And I told y'all, he he pissing me off with the Nola, okay? Because I told y'all Nola men is not that great, okay? But usually they know how to charm a woman and get by and do these wonderful things. And he's disappointing me once again, because I feel like most of the Nola men that I know would at least been able to carry the facade, not just be behind the doors or in the confessionals telling y'all how much he likes Vanessa, not just texting her, hey, beautiful, I'm glad we back on the same page and all this stuff like that. But he would have been able to walk her all the way down to the bridge the way Patrice walked his ass to the bridge and then let him down. But kudos to Patrice on that. We'll get to that later.
Talk to me, C-Way. What are you telling me?
Hey, JR. Hey, y'all. Um, Here's the thing. If Vanessa would have acted a fool, all the ladies in the chat and all the male identified women who are not a part of this channel would have been spending more time talking about Vanessa's reaction than they would have Chaz's diabolical behavior. So the only way to focus on what Chaz actually did was Vanessa to handle it the way she did. Because if she would have responded like Koshia, or would have responded how I probably would have, because my temper would not allow me to do what Vanessa did. He would have got smacked with them flowers, and then all the male identified people, instead of talking about what he did, would have been like, Seaway shouldn't have smacked him with the flowers though. Like that would have been their focus, right? So I'm glad that she didn't give anybody room to spend more time talking about her reaction than his diabolical behavior. And Vanessa has been giving us a 0 this entire season. So it's only right that she sit on 0 once again. Chaz, legit. I said this on another round. If you guys are not subscribed to another round, I don't know what you're doing. But I said this on another round. Chaz is top 5 most diabolical that have ever been on Ready to Love. That was the most childish display from a man pushing 50 I have ever seen in my life. Not even on TV. So honestly, I'm pretty sure Vanessa was in pure shock. If a man hands you a wilted flower that he planned out to represent the death of y'all relationship, just walk away. Don't say nothing to him. Leave the flower on the floor and just walk away, because he's a fool. And when you argue with fools, people are not going to know who's the fool. They're going to think both of y'all are fools. So she did the right thing. You walk away. That was foolish. That was a failed attempt. It was funny. I'm not going to lie. I did laugh, but it was ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. So this is the same person at IT don't know who hacked his phone. So let's be real. Allegedly, right? So that's what I got. Vanessa, it was boring, but she handled it the right way. She should have just left them flowers though, right where she got it.
JR, talk to me, man.
Yo, um, well, yeah, I agree with everything that's been said. It was a diabolical move from someone who clearly didn't like her from ages ago. This was very premeditated, had that whole thing mapped out, and I think it would have been worse if she had chosen him and he had hit her with the whole petrified flower business. Then, man, he would have been piled on and destroyed. in every single chat for eternity. He probably would have gone to number one villain. But thankfully, she got there first. She wasn't really feeling him either. And yeah, like it was a petty move, a bit theatrical, but he weren't feeling her. Patrice came and nipped him at the finish line away from Vanessa. But like I don't think he's beat up about it. And the killer thing for me is he dumped that petrified rose in a lake and let that swim off and drown somewhere. So he was really done with it.
But my question is, what makes a man act that petty? Like, to me, there is nothing more scary than a man that's that petty. You know what I mean? Like, and that's probably why him and Laron are besties. They're like the young and old version of just two petty, sassy men who not only are going toe to toe with women, they're trying to outdo women. Like, that's kind of scary. Like, why are you plotting on a woman? If you just didn't want Vanessa, she wasn't supportive, she wasn't this and that, you could have just told her to go be blessed queen. It's not going to work out. Like, we were good for a short period of time, but our paths are not aligning. I wish you the best of luck. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel like, unless there's something that we're missing, I don't know what Vanessa ever did to deserve that type of mean behavior that he exhibited. And to me, if you're going to be that mean and nasty, I don't know, that's kind of scary. And it's still going on. Like, why are you hacking your own phone allegedly?
To have a person act this crazy, irrational, delusional, all of the above, generally it's good cooch. Just like when Good D has women acting crazy, it's good cooch. That's all I can say. You know what I'm saying? Only good cooch that cut you off have you acting like this, okay? Because you mad that you're no longer on the hit list. When they cut you off, that's what this is, and that's what it's given. Good cooch has struck again.
I can see that. But Vanessa got to go. When you see somebody acting like this type of man who put poison in your food. Like, if somebody brings you a petrified flower, don't ever break bread with that person again.
If I can't have you, Seaway, nobody else will, baby.
That's what it's giving. Then you have the nerve to wear them suspenders. The audacity of that. Then you start talking in third person when you leave Patrice later on. Talk about Chaz did good, Chaz did great. Chaz is nuts. Lord have mercy. Between him and Laron, crazy. These people on this show are crazy. This is not for TV. This is for real life. No. He scared me. He top 5 for sure.
Yeah, I don't know about the good cooch part. I don't know. I think it's a severe disdain for her at this point. I don't think he likes her. It's definitely more on the dislike side. And that's why I think he went out like that. For someone that you care about or you think you still have hope with, you wouldn't have done something so final. Like, nobody would. So I think he definitely fell out of like with her. I have heard him say that when they had the date at his house, she caused a problem. She did some things and said some things about him not kicking other people out the house so that they could have alone time, and he didn't like that. So I think gradually the dislike grew.
JR, where you heard this from?
I heard it from Chaz himself. So I think he needed to probably get back at her for the way that she made him feel in that moment, and gradually that dislike decreased. But definitely a very petty move.
you get set back at somebody like this for telling you what they want you to do, but you're not
Right?
doing
Does
what they
that make
want you to
sense?
do?
Does that make sense, Jr.?
Come on,
You know that
JR.
don't make sense.
No. I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm saying, listen, the only reason why he would do that is if he doesn't like her. Forget about all the other stuff. The underlying point is you only would do something like that when you feel like there's no hope, you have no interest in them no more, and you're out of there. The good thing
But
is
I
he got
can't
the
forget
same.
about the other stuff because you brought it up, JR. You brought it up.
Yeah. But I'm giving that was for context. It's not the main point to focus on. The fact of the matter is, he doesn't like her.
Okay, but it was for context. But what's the point if it's not the main point to focus on that? Why was it for context?
No,
Because
because I'm saying that gradually,
his web done got
the
around you,
dislike
JR,
grew.
too. See, his web done got around you, JR, too, and it's okay. It's okay, baby. It's okay. We here for you. That's why
What are
you
you talking about?
back. That's why you back, baby. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
What are you talking
You
about,
know,
Jay?
JR.
I think you need to take that nap that you were talking about. But yeah, like I think, like I said, the only reason why you do that is if the dislike grew to that point. It's not something that you do spur of the moment. He premeditated that, so that means it
Okay,
was
but
something.
JR,
that was
JR,
yeah.
you're a regular dude who acts like a regular dude, and I mean that actually as a compliment. So, if you don't like somebody, right? Are you gonna be like how you know how like some girls they don't like a dude or they don't like a old friend, but they keep watching their story, or a dude they don't like somebody but they keep watching their story? Are you like that? Are you the type of person if you don't like somebody you move on? Are
It
you still gonna be
depends
watching
how
their
much I
story?
dislike them. If
You don't
if
like
I
them at all.
like
You're not
the
ethical with them.
person and I know it's only temporary, like a temporary fallout, then I'm not going to cut them off. But if I'm going to go all out to be extravagant to get rid of them, then that means I'm burning bridges. I'm not interested no more. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. There's no coming back.
Can I ask a question?
Oh,
go ahead. What you gonna say, Seaway, before I ask the question?
Well, one, Sean is backstage. He really wants to come up, but two, I know I
Leave
was
him
just
there.
okay, I got you, because he don't know how to be on time. but two, though, I was gonna say, JR, like I'm a type person, and this is like my dude energy. If I'm done with you, I'm not watching your story. I'm not gonna bring you no petrified flower to be nasty towards you. I won't block you because I want you to see me thriving. I can't even talk today, but I'm not going to do anything to be petty towards you because I'm actually done with you. So I just find it very, very petty, especially from a man. If you're not effing with Vanessa, tell her to be blessed. What is with the games? I just never understand that. Like I've never understood that. But that's just not me. When I'm done with you, I'm legit done with you.
Before you answer, because this might help you answer your question. So my question is, what would be the actual cause for a man to go to this great extent to remove himself from a woman's presence?
The level of dislike for her and loss of connection, I think that's why he went so deep with how he wanted to dismiss her.
No. Okay, I'm gonna ask the question
Not
again.
because he was feeling the cooch.
No,
Yeah?
I'm asking the question again.
The good cooch theory doesn't work for me.
No, I'm not. It's not my cooch. I'm asking you
lot.
literally, JR. I'm asking you literally for you as a man. And Sean and Kojo can answer this after you if they like. But for you to go to this level extent with a woman, what would be the reason? What would she have done to you that make you say, I have to go this far with her instead of just walking away?
Well, for me, I wouldn't do that. But I'm saying for him, who's different from me, I think that he did it because he doesn't like her as much as people may think he did. I wouldn't do that. So I can't really answer why he would do something like that. If I'm through with the person, then I'm not even going to wish you no negativity or any harm or anything. I'm out. We just don't need to talk. So I wouldn't go to those levels that he went. But I'm saying the only reason why I can see that he went to those levels is because he never liked her. There's no going back. there's no cooch that's going to sway him. Even if she chose him at that point, he already had premeditated his exit away from her in order to choose Patrice ahead of her. I hope that makes sense. No,
I don't
still
know.
struggling.
I don't know. I don't know if one of the other men can help Chaz out better than JR, because right now you digging him a deeper grave, baby. It's giving way worse petty than it was before to start off with. I'm sorry. If you cannot just walk yourself away from the lady because you don't like her, then something else is wrong with you. Okay, something is absolutely wrong with you. You have to literally. I can actually give you some reasons why I will go to this extent to get a person not to like me, but I'm not about to do that for you. I want to know why you as a man will actually go to this extent to remove yourself out of a person's life. And I'm low-key helping you when I state it like this. When I say you
Yeah, you're not
removing
helping
yourself
me. You
out of
need
a
to go have
person's
that
life,
conversation with Chaz, because that's who's the one that did it.
I'm trying
But
to have a
I'm
conversation with
saying,
you
just
because you be having
as
a
an
cape on
observer,
for Chaz. You know what I'm saying? That can't be tied up
yeah, that's
tight.
so. As an observer, I'm saying the only reason why I think a man would why I think Chaz did that is because there was like he ain't feeling her as much as people may think, or people may have wanted him to act a certain way and try and get with her and finish the process with her, or put his best foot forward and wish her positivity and all that. He wasn't doing that because he doesn't like her. It was all a facade, or to keep her along to the end. But he wasn't feeling her. Doesn't matter how good the cooch was or how much you want to sway it. No guy, in my opinion, would go to that great length for someone that he even had a morsel of care about. It was done.
Same question, Sean or Kojo, because y'all have to give me something better than what JR just gave me, because I'm sorry.
No, but let me just say first and foremost, shout out to 1,050 people in the room before the man them jump in and answer the question. Listen, we appreciate you those who've also joined the membership. Shout out to you guys as well. And I'm gonna let Sean go in a second. We've got PL. Shout out to you. We've got Ivy, Olive, Sesh, Mrs. Ward, Italiana. We've got Queens, Geraldine. We've got Kia as well. And then Phil Good says Chaz is whack for that move. I don't do the sassy word, but it was a it was a B word move. And the eldest man trying to be with the youngest woman, red flag whack. Oh damn. Shoot it.
I ain't gonna call you sassy, but I'm gonna call you a B. Okay, I like that.
I'm not involved. Sean, that question is to you. I don't know if you're there. They want to hear from yourself.
Yeah, I'm here after you left me in purgatory for and a half an hour. But yes,
I know
I'm
you don't
here.
say the half the like. Why are you exaggerating like Jimmy? It
I
was
was
definitely not
back
half an
there
hour.
for like 15 to 20 good
15.
minutes. Yes, bro.
Oh, oh my god, the lies. Go
That's
on.
not a lie.
No, he exaggerating like me. This is a Seaway
Oh my
exaggeration.
god, giving me a Jimmy treatment, boy. Like I was here for 10 minutes when it's 2 hour and a half minute. But go on, Sean. Sorry, my bad. It's good to have you though.
Don't
But talk to
gaslight
me.
me, okay? I will not be gaslit today. I was backstage for 15 minutes.
Not the gaslighter talking about don't gaslight me.
Right.
So
Now
yeah,
he ain't
no.
got nothing to say.
Now listen, can I breathe? Y'all been up here bumping your gums for the last hour. I just got on. Let me collect my thoughts. So, I mean, in answer to that question, it's ego. And I think that ultimately, when you move in your ego, you just want to do whatever you feel like you need to do to trump the woman because you want to make it look like you was already going to do what you was going to do anyway. She don't control you. And yeah, I think, listen, I'm not going to hold you. Vanessa, as much as I'm not going to put my cape on for Chaz, I'm not going to put it on for Vanessa either. And outside of whatever transpired out of the show with these leaked recordings, she's told us a lot of things. She's told us when she was sitting in that couch with the blanket, she was like, listen, she liked Chaz because she felt he was low maintenance. Well, surprise, surprise, he's very not low maintenance. He's the opposite of low maintenance. And she don't like the dog. And I'm sorry, you don't like my dog, we're gonna have a big problem. And her rationale for not liking the dog is because she got enough on her own. So somebody has to accept you with what you have, right? So you should be willing and open, unless you have an allergy or some chronic fear of a dog. You got stuff going on. Why are you so opposed to somebody having a dog? It just sounds selfish, you know? So, hey, he was tired of her selfishness and he reacted. I don't agree with his actions. I think it was kind of silly, very goofy, but that's kind of Chaz's quirky personality. And then his brother definitely followed suit and did a lot of quirky, weird, strange things too. So I think that's just in his wheelhouse, but I don't think it was the right thing to do. I think Vanessa handled it very well. I like how she handled it. She kind of looked at him like he was strange, and she ignored him.
I hear it. Penny, talk to me. We're talking about Chaz. Good to see you, babe. Looking wonderful. Um, yes, we're talking about Chaz and his situation. Vanessa, what did you want to say?
He's a nasty piece of work, isn't he? I'm sorry, I have a cold, but Chaz's behavior just triggered me. And the reason why is because Chaz is one of those people who are nice and gentle that you overlook that their character is really bad and mean. Because usually when people are like that, they usually, okay, well, if he's teamed up with somebody who's louder, people will assume that the other person has done something bad and not actually realizing that there's this seething deceitfulness that Chaz like operates in, which is very scary. I agree with Seaway. Like if a guy can go as far as wanting to express how much he doesn't like you by buying another rose, what is it called, a petrified flower, I don't know what it is, I think he can poison you for real. Like I think that's so true. I don't think you need to be that um what was the word, like he was just he had an agenda. And I think what worries me is it seems like he knew he was not going to pick Vanessa. I think he knew that she wasn't the pick anyways, but he played along for a very long time, which is sad because if you're a real honest, integral man, as you claim you are, you would have told her a long time ago that actually this is not working because of X, Y, and Z, because maybe your behavior is not something that I'm aligned to anymore. But he continued playing and saying, I'm not too sure, I'm not too sure. So far as wanting to choose Patrice over her when he's not really had any relationship or connection with Patrice. So that shows me that there's something wrong with him. And I think maybe that's why he's single at 47. What worries me is there's a lot of guys like Chess around and people just don't understand. They'll be like, oh, he's a good guy. He's got a good job because we've allowed success to sort of be the deciding factor for somebody's like, and we've overlooked their characters and their misdemeanors and their inabilities to really hold a relationship because everybody kept saying he has a good house and a good car, but clearly he doesn't know how to communicate. Clearly he doesn't know how to hold a relationship, and clearly he's still stuck in the nitpicking and the pettiness, because you can't be in a relationship and you always want to catch somebody or self-preserve. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you can't be about you. Because I think even in his last comment, he said something about him, like she wasn't doing something for him, and she said that's the reason why, because it's all about you. And yeah, I don't think he's ready to be with anyone, and it's scary because a lot of people will not see his issues because he really comes across and presents himself very well. Um, but yeah, I feel sorry for Vanessa, though she's also hard to feel sorry for, which is a hard place to be. But I think she's a lovely girl. Maybe he's also made her have a wall up because he's very challenging, because you can't pinpoint what it is you don't want, because he will really lure you in, but at the same time he's also not giving you everything. So he's playing a game.
So, um, I think, I think there's some valid points in that, Penny, and that it probably takes a little while to get to know Chaz before you see some of his flaws that he has. But I think he can't hide that long, because he was starting to fold in the house, and that's why we saw what we saw, and him having that emotional moment when he cracked under pressure because he was being held accountable. So people like that, who on the surface everything is good, and they have some good qualities, but they're really maybe not fully mature in some areas of how to deal with people, relationships, how to maturely handle when things don't work out. You're gonna eventually see it. So I think you'll spot a Chaz. You may not at the first meeting, but once you get under the hood and get to know him, and that's what Vanessa was starting to suss out, is she was starting to see the cracks in the foundation, and she was asking him questions, and that's why he ran off, because he didn't like the pressure, he didn't like those questions, because they were making him be accountable for his actions. Now to her, I'm sorry, nobody can make you be who you're not. So she is who she is, and Chaz is who he is. So he's not making her be anything. She is who she is based on a collection of her experiences, but he's not making her be something. And I think sometimes we, unfortunately let women off the hook by saying men make them do this. He made her do that. No, she made a choice to do something. It could have been in response to something he did, but he didn't make her do it. She made a choice to do what she did, and she is who she is, and she can work on it. She could change just the same way that Chaz needs to work on it. We can't blame Vanessa for how Chaz shows up. That's how he shows up. So I just wanted to kind of like elaborate on that a little more.
I reckon, Sean, that there's some relationships where some people bring out a different side of you, like the worst out of you. And it's not to say that they're making you, but in the sense of, and this is the worrying part I think about when you date somebody who's toxic, you end up becoming toxic. And this is why, like, I would, you kind of have to stay away from people who are toxic, because in the end, even when you're making an argument to friends or people and you're like, this is what he's done, but then when you retaliated, it's a response to that. And then people are like, but between the two of you, I don't know who's right or wrong. And you saw that even with Maya and Laron, like some people just bring out the worst in you. And maybe that's also a signal to say that you're not meant to be for each other. But I think some people just bring out the bad side of you that you probably you didn't even know you had, or you haven't tapped into until you met that person, which is a shame, but I think that's possible.
What's the song "At Your Best"? You are love. A lot of times you're a mirror image of the person that you're with. So if that person is highly toxic, a lot of times to get their attention, we start to mirror their behavior, and we start doing those things. Now, we were just saying that in the chat, me and Nunn, we were talking about Vanessa being an act. Well, that's what she's been doing. She's been presenting one side of herself through this whole thing. And off camera, unfortunately, both of them been seeing the true people off camera. And they both realize when we get on camera, you're acting. And this was a presentation of one person trying to outact the other. Unfortunately, for Chaz, he decided he wanted to go the villain route in it. And Vanessa maintained her stance on her character throughout. Now, had Chaz decided to stay the course with Vanessa and stay on par, they both would have just separated, and we all would have been looking like, well, what happened? Why they just didn't work out? This is weird. We'd have thought nothing of it, but we'd have just sat here in here just like, that's weird. They seem so perfect for each other. They seem right for each other. Why they didn't make it? Had they just been like, you know what, I've decided to go a different direction or whatever. But thankfully enough, Chaz can't hold Frank for long, so he showed his ass. Or whatever. And unfortunately for him, that's why the phone allegedly got hacked. So he can show Vanessa was acting all along with him or whatever. But however, this is the corporate side of Vanessa. She works as a flight attendant. This is what she do all day. So she's going to present herself at her best all the time. Chaz, he doesn't probably have to present himself at his best at his job. So this is not an act that he can maintain for a long time. So for him, he was in a losing game no matter what. And though I like the petty attempt, because my little petty side is in full flame right now during Aries season. It's a fire season, so it's petty season for me. It was a good attempt, but it was lackluster. I'm sorry. I've said it several times. When he gave that speech, it was just lackluster. And I was just like, you could have just gave her the dead flower and not said anything or whatever. It probably came off a little bit better. But Chaz is going to lose this game 9 times out of 10 because Vanessa carries around her representative day in, day out. Even off screen right now, she's still running around with her representative. It's just a part of her everyday job. Unfortunately for her, throughout the show, and if you take enough travel, you be on enough customer service flights or whatever and stuff like that, you work in customer service, when a person is really not happy about being at work that day, opposed to the days that they are happy. So had he left well enough alone, we would have actually realized Vanessa was acting this whole time without the help of releasing any outside information. But of course, people got to get ahead of the enemy. And so he had to release the information before this came out, and hope that we would take it easier on him and look at Vanessa crazy. He just did her a favor at the end of the day.
I think one other thing is I've been okay. Go ahead, Coach. Sorry.
No, I don't have anything to say. I was going to say, I hear you. Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, as I've been listening, I think the other part of it is birds of a feather flock together. Chaz and Laron have been running pretty thick, and I think that kind of like, oh, let's kind of figure out how we're gonna look good, and knowing that this was the last moment on cameras, I think they kind of sat back and said, what's a way that we can kind of, maybe Laron helped him with it, or maybe that it's that same kind of mindset. I want to make sure, hey, listen, I get my last lick in, uh, you know, and this is going to be the way to do it. So I guess the petrified rose, she could have kept it and used it for potpourri, because I'm not sure what his plan was in that, or what, like, that took some level of thought, but I don't know like how he wanted it to hit. Like, what was that supposed to hit? Like, tell her she's dead inside, the relationship is dead? Like, okay, you both didn't choose each other. So yeah, for me, understand why we need to do performative things of that nature, when relationships don't work out. And I think, to be honest, that kind of troubles me a little bit with some of the things that I've seen transpire with the Ready to Love people. um and it does happen in relationships too, but it's like, listen, sometimes relationships are not going to work out, and people have to have a little bit of self-confidence and just be like, look, I may not have liked how things worked out, or I don't like what they said, but have enough self-confidence to know you can pick yourself up and move on, because all it says is the opposite, is that you're really hurt. You're so hurt that the person doesn't want you. You're so hurt that the situation didn't work out the way you thought it would have. Whether it was you wanted to break up first or not, you're still hurt because it didn't play out the way you wanted it to play. So you want to find a way to make them feel how you feel. And I just think at a certain point, we got to do better. And I mean, we as just people in general. It's like, look, it don't work out, keep it trucking. Why you got to do something silly to try to make her feel away? Move on, build a bridge. Women, women and men, we're like buses. This one don't work, another one's coming, trust me. So I just wish people would stop with the antics.
Yeah, and that's why I would say I'm happy that I know both. I can say, Kojo for sure. I won't speak on what Sean's done. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I do appreciate men holding other men accountable and kind of being able just to have conversations like when we had on the public platform about Laron taking down Maya's pictures. I feel like it's a very slippery slope on how folks are dealing with breakups and disappointments. Like, you can't forcibly hold on to people and things just because you're upset. Like, rejection is a part of life. We all will be rejected. Things will not go our way, right? But I think in the midst of like things not going our way, how you act, definitely, like Sean said, it says more about you than it does about them. Because honestly, if things weren't working out with Vanessa, like I said before, all Chaz had to do was just say that and walk away. I do believe, though, that there was a lot of shenanigans behind the scenes. I think both of them were doing a lot of fakery behind the scenes. And I do think that's the reason why the stuff on camera just ain't kind of feeling good. Some ain't really feeling right. And I think both the men and the women on this panel, we know that we can dislike Chaz, but we do know something is not necessarily right all the way around. But I don't know. I just feel like we're supposed to get to a certain point of elevation. These are conversations that I expect to be having with people in their 20s. I just don't understand this stuff at this point. Like, we're supposed to grow and we're supposed to learn. And it's a little, I don't know. I expect a little more. I don't know why I expect more.
Well, you expect more because people run around on people's platforms talking about we need to be uplifting as a community and uplifting the black man and this, that, and you know what I'm saying? When we get to talking this speech, but we're doing this type of stuff, of course we expect more, but we get less. So
That part, Jay, that part. What black man should we be supporting here, Chaz, with the pettiness? Yeah, no, we expected more from him.
Well,
I
I
did
think
too.
y'all, you know what? This is the problem. And we're gonna give some of these women some grace here, because and watch, I know y'all ain't ready for this, but Chaz and Laron are so manipulative. And Chaz in particular, he's using whatever type of attractiveness, his money, whatever he has, and he picks very vulnerable women who are not used to getting the attention from him, even if it's platonic attention, even if it's just like, I'm going to sit and have a conversation. I've seen him do it. He knows how to be like, oh, hey, beautiful. Hey, just even in the YouTube sphere, trying to see if that's going to move the needle to get the women to not speak bad about him. He's a charmer. And the reason why I say give grace, which y'all know I don't want to do about particular people, but he is picking out people that he knows he can manipulate, even platonically. And they're putting on their cape for him. And that's the saddest part. It's like he's manipulating them too. He knows what he's doing. That's why they're going around talking about protect this black man, whatever, because he's trying to charm them. It's actually sad. It's actually sad. And he knows what he's doing.
Anyway, some of them he didn't even have to work for. They came to him. That's the part that he's probably using to his advantage, because Patrice threw herself to him and the other women too. So it's also something there to say about us being really enamored with people's things. Because he probably hasn't had to work on his character, because he's always had the car, the money, and he put so much emphasis on that. That's his identity, because he knows that's what gets the women going, right? Because half of the women, he didn't have to do much, because that guy doesn't really do much, right? Half the time the conversation is probably not even as interesting. It's more about poems that are just not even, I don't know. They get some girls excited. They really don't do for me, but
I mean, I think this is why, and this may be unpopular, but it won't be if you hear me out. This is the reason why Kevin Samuels was really doing the Lord's work when he was trying to explain. A lot of women are getting duped by Chaz because they think all these unicorns exist. They don't. Now, is there a George Clooney from time to time? Are you a mall is the question. But are there George Clooney's from time to time? Yes. But is the average man you're meeting who's in his late 40s and 50s, not married, no kids, with money, actually a catch? Or is the probability that something's actually very, very wrong with them? People need to use their noggin. 47. However, I think he's 47. No kids. Relatively attractive. Whether y'all want to tussle over that, I'm not going back and forth with y'all about that. I'm just talking about most average, but people would say he's attractive. Some of y'all probably wouldn't. That's on y'all, right? With money. Y'all just think he's on Ready to Love for what? Why y'all think he on here? Let's use our noggins. Stop thinking you finna get just a miracle. That's why everybody losing money on the lottery. That's why I'm losing money on my sports betting parlays. Everybody think we gonna hit a lick. No. No. The odds are no. That man is single with money for a reason. Going around talking about he wealthy. Please.
My mom says if it looks too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true, honey. There's something wrong.
No, I can't use Denzel. Denzel is married. I used George Clooney because he was one of the people who met, was a bachelor for a really long time. And when he met his now wife, they legit hit it off. They have a family and they're living a beautiful life. But the average person is not him. So I think we also have to take accountability. Next time you see a person like Chaz, lead glass empty. Don't lead glass half full. Lead empty. Your default should be something the hell is wrong with this man. And then make him prove that something ain't wrong with him. Try that way.
We'll now have a selection from the Deacon. Go ahead, Deacon.
Now, I'm kind of with you, but I just couldn't follow you all the way off the cliff. So I think we shouldn't enter into relationships with people from a negative place, right? So we don't want to have to make them, dig themselves out of a hole to get to one before they even start getting with us. So I do understand that. I just, that would be the only point I disagree with. But what I do agree with is there's a lot of red flags there. There's definitely some red flags with Chaz, and it's just about the inconsistency. And I wouldn't say poor, weak women, they don't know what they're getting into. No, every one of these women in this cast is very highly intelligent, and y'all women will tell us in a second, y'all are highly educated, y'all make more money, y'all do better, you're smarter, we're dumb. So you can't miss Chaz. If you can see him coming, use that intelligence, use those degrees, use your common sense and your worldly knowledge to see him coming, because trust me, he's not Batman. You're not going to miss him in the Knights of Gotham. He's very much the Joker. So you can see him screaming loud and clear, or whatever character he is. I mean, I know, Jay, don't get into the weeds with me in the dark arts. I'm not saying he's the Joker and
I'm not even giving you dark arts. He just not crafty enough for the Joker. Okay,
I'm saying appearance wise, when the Joker steps on the scene, you can see them. I didn't want to call him a clown and be like totally rude, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like when you walk down the street, you see a clown, it's a clown, right? You see the Joker walking at you with all the makeup and the face and the clothes, you're gonna see it. Sometimes he might be able to fool you with some of his wit, but you're gonna see him. You'll definitely see Chaz. He's gonna let you know who he is. You just have to pay attention, and that's all. Vanessa found out too. That's why she was able to smartly choose herself. She found out she might have dipped her toe in the waters a little too early, too soon, but who amongst us is perfect? Nobody's perfect. And unfortunately, she probably miscalculated him, because you don't send somebody like him a voice note, because then his phone might get hacked and then you get exposed. So, that was probably her main mistake, is don't be sending voice notes to people whose phones are susceptible to hacking.
No, she probably want her white husband back at this point. And if she do, I wouldn't blame her. After all of this, she better go back to her white king, because I know she done. She done figured it out.
Nah, she can't go back to him because see, she said too much. Again, sometimes she trying to be cute, talking about I want to be revolutionary. I need to be revolutionary. She gonna have a hard time trying to open that door open. He's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm
But
revolutionary enough for you now, baby."
but what our girls say, Sean, y'all get the same black man.
Oh, that's Cynthia G, right? She probably is like he wasn't no different.
And she may get that same. She may have got that same white man. Y'all saw the one from Selling Sunset. White man that cheated on her. That's why she ran down to divorce court. So I don't know. The man may just be a man at this point. Don't know what to say.
I think Vanessa need to look up in that mirror, and I think a lot of times people they struggle with that, and that's on both sides of the fence. When relationships fail, they think, oh, I need to widen the dating pool. Oh, I need to go to a black, if I'm black, I need to go to white. If I'm white, I need to do this. No, 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 you need to look in the mirror and see what was your role in the demise of the relationship. And I don't see Vanessa ever being self-reflective, telling us what is she working on other than trying to get somebody more revolutionary. What have you worked on? What are the things that you're changing from a relationship standpoint? I don't care if you at an empowerment concert, talking about, you want to uplift the women's, that's great. But what are you doing to change for a relationship? How are you going to be a great partner? And again, I think we got to spend a little bit more time on this because people come to relationships talking about what they want, but what are you willing to give? Because that is what's going to help you maintain a longer relationship. It's that reciprocity and the giving, not just what you're looking to obtain, how you want to be kept, how you want a soft life. All those things are great, but what do you want to be of service to for the person that you're in a relationship with? Because that's going to get you a better outcome. And how have you learned from your past relationship failures to do better?
We have a
Yes,
relationship coach
Deacon.
in the house, guys. We have a relationship expert actually at this point, Sean.
That's Deacon for you.
Amen and hallelujah. Listen,
He
and
on
by
God's
trial and
payroll.
fire, listen, a divorce will force you right to that wall. I done slid down a wall or two, I'm telling you.
But I mean, since Sean done opened that door on Vanessa and stuff, that's what I was talking about. When we start mirroring those images that we are trying to avoid, every time Chaz brought up something, it was, well, you do this too. Well, you do that too. You cannot be that petty voice that's always looking to one up the person or get back for something that they do in a relationship. And that's a big flaw that Vanessa does have herself. She can never take accountability for her part in anything. Even when she gets to the point of just talking one-on-one with Chaz about how she feels he's moving, it's always the women feel this way. It's never, well, I see you moving this way and I don't like it. It's the women feel this way. Sweetheart, you cannot speak for all these women all the time. You're not their representative. You're not their Angela Davis. You're just not their person. Okay. Like sit down sometimes and speak for yourself. If you don't like the way the person is moving because he has his options, just tell him that you don't like it. You cannot be speaking for all these other women that you're competing with at the end of the day. Let's not forget that you're literally competing with these women. So they can tell you whatever they want to tell you or whatever. But when you run and tell that back to him, is that actually how you feel about the situation? Or is you repeating something that they're telling you, or you're just trying to jumble it up so you don't seem as insecure about it, but you're really bothered by it? And on top of it, just like he told her, hey, you didn't come check on me. Well, you didn't do this when you ran out. Yes, I didn't do that when I ran out the house. But at the same time, I'm telling you in this moment, we're talking about you, which you didn't do. Let's stay focused here for a hot second. And I think that's a problem that Vanessa does have and strive with in her relationships, that she can't stay in that moment of taking accountability for the parts that she play in some of the things that she does. And we know that's Chaz's biggest thing too, because he's fight or flight real quick. And most of the time he's flying out of there. So the problem is when you have those two type of people combined, neither one of them is going to sit back and say, you know what, I was wrong for what I did. It's always going to be you. And at the end of the day, they were never going to be a very good couple for each other because neither one of them could take accountability for their own personal actions.
I would say I struggled with Vanessa because for me, she's also a Debbie Downer. Like she always had this complaining spirit, like just always nagging. Like she looks like the type of person you're just not going to have fun with. And I think that's also annoying for people just in general, even for guys, I'm sure. It was just something that she wasn't happy. And I think where Patrice maybe had an upper hand compared to her. And this is it was interesting to watch Patrice maneuver through all of this. I think her personality got her through. And I think for what I got from this season is the power of personality, because, Patrice was probably not the woman people would think would have so many men, but she did, because she was just always lively, always positive. And I don't think Vanessa has that. She really likes to moan a little bit. Yeah, and that got on my nerves myself, outside of everything else.
All right, I love that. That was good, solid, good conversation that you spent on Chaz and Vanessa. Since we're still talking about heated things, let's talk about this Maya and why did I mix their names?
You're making them a couple again.
Not Myron. Myron.
Like Myron.
Myla.
Liam. I don't know what's going on with me. What's you guys' thoughts on Maya and Laron, their situation? It was only a few minutes on the screen, but they are always an impact. Jay looks like spirit's about to take her away, so go on, sis. Talk to us. Give us some of that.
I was really going to wait to last because I know you want to be on this stance of protect Laron.
By all means.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, listen, I'm with you up until a point. Maya should have never entertained him for pursuing her. None of that. That's always going to be a problem, because I look at it like, if somebody is pursuing you, or if you're pursuing somebody and that person doesn't really want you back, no matter which way it's going, when that person does not want you back in the pursuit, it's always going to be a problem. So her wanting to be pursued by people that she don't actually want is a problem, because now she put herself in a space for the foolishness. So I agree with you on that part. That was where her downfall was. But this whole blow up in this space, this particular episode, I'm sorry. I can't stand in the foolishness of Laron's delusion on a lot of things, because what she literally was saying in that moment is, you want me just to tell you everything is fine, despite what I heard, didn't hear, what was relayed to me. You want me to tell you everything is fine. I'll run off into the sunset with you, be your woman and stuff. And I cannot give you that. And he said in that same exact moment is, yes, I do. He heard what he wanted to hear out of that statement, which was, be my girl. I will be your lady. That's the problem right there. That's the problem that I'm having with Laron. He hears the parts that he wants to hear and not the full thing. And that's always going to be a problem with no matter who engages him, long as he's pursuing them and he wants them, long as they say the littlest thing to him, that's enough for him to hook on and say, yes, that's my lady. At the end of the day, that was never his girl, for him to even have that reaction that he had at the club. I don't care if you brought her to the club, you took her to the club, she drove herself to the club, you invited her to the club. You are in a club environment where people are going to approach and walk up to anybody. If you wanted a personal one-on-one setting, you should have had that. You should have took her there and stopped trying to be cheap. It still cost you. It cost you even more at the end of the day. So you were so busy trying to worry about your pockets. And listen, it cost you your pockets and the potential woman that you had at the end of the day, because she got to see your true self. I'm not saying, and listen, before y'all start going there, I'm not saying Maya's right, because I just told y'all she should have never engaged with this man in the first place. And I'm going to get on that part in a second. However, Laron, let it go. She don't want you, leave it alone. She's calling you childish because it's this stuff right here. You won't have an actual conversation with her, but then you start chasing her. When she's calling you on your stuff, you can't handle it in the moment because you're too busy worried about, if I'm going to look like a simp on TV, these people going to think about me. But we bottom feeders, so why do you even care about what we think about you? Let's remember that. Okay? None of our opinions actually matter. when at the end of the day, as you put it, yet somehow these thoughts are pre-programmed in your brain about what we're going to say with you. And what she is saying in this moment is, I can't be with a person that's that insecure, that already has pre-notions of what people are going to think about them at the end of the day. Now at the end of the day, Maya, she want to go where the money resides. I don't know how you else where you want to put it. You don't want to be labeled a gold digger or whatever and stuff like that. Gold digger is not a bad thing. It's not a lazy job. You got to work hard to be a gold digger. I'm not going to hold you. But at the end of the day, where the money resides is not always where you should be. Like they say, it's not always what they have to say. It's fool's gold or whatever and stuff like that. It's not always good where the money is. All money ain't good money. When you play dominoes, that's the rule. All money ain't good money. Sometimes you shouldn't take it. You should have left Laron alone and looked at his character. Let him pursue you a little bit longer, but watch how he pursues you and how he acts in this pursuit. Had you paid attention to all of that, you would have known that this is not the man for me, despite what he can bring to me, or what kind of benefits he can give to me, or what positions or places he could put me in and around people, because he don't know how to handle the person that I am in my position. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm a social butterfly, and quote unquote, this is her words. If I'm a social butterfly, I cannot be with a person that's super possessive. That's just it. At the end of the day, a person needs to have trust in any relationship that you walk into. If you don't have trust, it's not going to be nothing. On top of it, if you are having this many arguments in the courting, dating, friendship phase of a relationship, let it go. Stop giving the second, third, fourth, fifth, umpteen chances to a person who has showed you the first time they're not going to be who they need you to be. That's Maya's biggest downfall. Okay. If we are to believe how many times that Laron got chances, that is her fault. Because if she sat here and keep giving this man chances after one another, after he keeps doing everything to her that she doesn't like, baby, I can't defend you that much. I can't say much to you because you the fool. You the fool. He delusional, but you a fool. So I don't know what you want us to do in this situation. I'm glad she chose herself at the end of the day, but listen, the man that got up here and told us that he still be talking to her up until we got into the business. So if this take way in May and you still been talking to her all the way up until February when the show aired, that's still a damn problem. That is not our problem. That is not his problem. That is a you problem, miss, because you keep giving him the opportunity to play up in your face and keep treating you the way that you don't want to be treated. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell these people. They both young and dumb and in love right now, but I hope this experience teaches them all a lesson.
Yeah,
I don't know if
she.
they love. You go, Siwe.
You go ahead.
Okay. I don't know if they love. I think she, it's when you PT date, when you date somebody because you feel sorry for them. And I think she learned the hard way. Because his ego and obviously the fact that he's boisterous, I don't think she expected him to kind of get ahead of her in a way. I think she was just hoping she could, keep him around, pat him on his back, make him feel good, go out on dates with him, let him pay, have a good time, but not really take him seriously. But obviously he shows out. He's one of those guys who are just in your face, which was too messy. So I don't think they're in love. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying, and I could be wrong with her approach, but for me, it just seems like she was PT dating. Like she didn't really like him. She wasn't really into him. And the hard part about Laron is his ego is just, I think the term is right, childish. He is a little bit childish. I know he hates it, but he acts childish. The fact that she was talking to you, trying to communicate, and then you get up without actually saying, hey, let me just have a minute right now. I'll get back to you. You would have got a different response to you getting up. And then when she gets up, you're also like, he doesn't understand how his behavior impacts other people, especially in a relationship. So I don't know. I don't think they liked it. I think he liked her, but I also don't know if he liked her for real, if he liked her for the image, really. Because a lot of the things he does, Because if you like the girl, then you're coming on every bloody platform talking about it. He has a point to prove, and I don't know what it is. And that to me is unattractive, I think.
I do agree with most of the things you guys are saying. I also think that we even saw on the live when he was up there with us last week with Kojo, Jay, and I, and when Sean came up there, he pulls you in, and then he acts like he has sense, and then he doesn't. Then he acts like he has sense, and then he doesn't. I also think that was part of the problem, where sometimes he will act like he's gonna apologize, he's gonna do different, and then he cuts up. Then the next day he's acting good. Oh, she my girl, I'm gonna do right. And then he cuts up. It's like a roller coaster with him, even on YouTube. So I can't imagine what she's been dealing with this entire year. Because it's push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. It's exhausting. I think it's a combination of that. I think it's a combination of slightly pity dating. But more so, I feel like it's a combination of knowing that you should be able to do better than someone, but feeling like this is who you should be given a chance to. I think it's more that than anything. And then she kind of is realizing, this is not really a person that I should be given a chance to, but you're still keeping him along for the ride for whatever reason. I know before I indicated, Jay has said this, it looks like it's because of what he can financially bring. I think that's misconstrued as like just gold digging, but what it really means is this man is financially on your level, so you let you or higher or whatever, so you allowed it to drag out maybe longer than you would have if he didn't have any money. That's really what it means. Doesn't mean you don't have your own money, like Jay said. It just means if a man has some type of financial means, you're willing to entertain it longer, even though your gut is telling you that the vibes are off and the push and pull is off. And you should be able to do better. So, from the way Maya's been reacting to him recently, I think she fully understands the repercussions of one messing with a dude that's this insecure, that's doing all this pushing and pulling, and who is not on your level. Because now we're seeing the repercussions of that. You see the way he's acting. I hope she never does this again. Because she's a cute girl. She's going to get a lot of men that's going to want her attention. You have to be very, very selective. You cannot let these people in because they're going to act like Laron. So.
Go for Joe.
Yeah. I think Laron having snaked his way to this connection with Maya and finally getting what he wants in getting her to himself, getting to have her to himself. Man, I don't really feel any sympathy for him because of the way he went about it. But he did all of that and she never liked him. She liked the attention. She liked the drinks. She liked the social aspects, like going out to dinner, things like that. The dates, pity dates or otherwise. But she wasn't feeling that man from the get-go. And I don't think she necessarily wanted to let him down or cut off that supply of attention and dates and things like that. I don't think she's a malicious person. I don't think she wanted to burn the bridge. I think she just wanted to keep him at a level where it keeps his hopes up. But she knows deep down it's never going to go further than just going out to hang out or whatever. The thing that perplexes me, though, is, like you guys have alluded to, is if filming stopped last summer or whenever, and she's already walked away from the process, knowing that she's not feeling him, he's a hothead, he's temperamental, he's volatile. Man, continuing to hang out with him all the way up until this show aired, that's crazy to me. Because you're putting yourself at risk of his volatile temper pretty much every time you go out and his insecurities might be on display, you never know how he's going to react. I'm not saying he's violent. I'm not saying he's anything like that, but I'm just saying from the way that he comes across, he is different level petty, and he has an anger problem. And like I've said previously, I don't think the insecurity and the alcohol are a good mix. So going out to dates in a bar where you're going to have drinks, he may buy you some drinks, and then you feel like you can go and talk to other people. You're perfectly allowed to because it's a club. But he's the type of person that's going to react to it. And it's going to be a negative and hostile situation. So I don't understand why she continued to hang out with him. Completely perplexed. She can get lots of attention from other guys. She knows she's not feeling him. So why keep him around?
Go for it. Who wants to go for it? I know somebody going.
No, Sean just got back, so he hasn't gone. So I'll wait after Sean.
Yeah, this whole situation is giving me a migraine that I didn't need to have, because it's trying to work through a web of lies. And I don't know. I mean, I don't think Maya is an innocent, because she entertained Laron, probably for, not even probably, she did entertain him for too long. I don't know what the time frame is. I think we're all trying to piece it together. I just have a very difficult time believing most of what Laron says to be true, because at the end of the day, several things that he says have been proven to be untruths, whether it's the piece of the group chat that he gives to somebody, and then there's a whole nother group chat where he's talking about other people, but supposedly he's friends with those folks. Or what else can we try to like muck through? They were together, but then they're not together. So I just really have a tough time believing some of the things that he says. I think what I've been able to glean from some of the interviews he's done and some of the things that he's said is that he might actually believe some of the things that are happening. So it's very difficult to contest that when the person believes it. So he probably believes that they were in a relationship and that he really had a chance, because you see sometimes when people have delusions of grandeur, they believe it. We saw Risa Tisa. And I mean, at least she got to the point where she was honest about the fact that she was in the land of Delulu when it came to her situation. Now, did she have a relationship with him? Sure, she did. Yeah. But it was built on a house of lies. And some of the things are lies that she told herself because of her own issues. And I just happen to believe that Laron does lie to himself sometimes, because when he goes on this whole narrative about I'm not a simp, I'm from New Jersey, it's a persona. That's a persona. I told him when he was on here, that's not you can't just call a behavior attribute and claim it as a whole state. Bro, that's you, and you need to do better. If a relationship doesn't work out, whatever reason it doesn't work out, you need to move on. And if you want to use excuses, or you want to say, well, she called me and she took my gift, all those things can be true, but you still are hanging on to something, and you have to look at the evidence. So he has to look at the evidence. Does she really give him the quality time of somebody that wants to really be with you? You might love her. You might have been willing to jump off the bridge for her, as you say. But at the end of the day, is she willing to do the same for you? What has she shown you that she wants you the same way that you want her back? Every time he seems to be fighting for his life when it comes to something. We saw him begging and pleading at the bridge before he wasn't at the bridge, but they was at the park, right? When they was at the park, he was begging. Baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, begging, baby. It's like, if all you doing is begging, then you ain't got nothing to do. You don't have a relationship. He was on this panel talking about y'all gonna make us, y'all gonna make me lose my girl. No, you gonna make you lose your girl. Matter of fact, you already lost her. She's gone. She's gone, bro. It's like, and I'm not saying this to be rude. I know he watches the channel. He's a supporter. Coach is little bro to him. I love it. It's great. You know, let's clap it up for brotherhood. But we got to also be honest. We got to be honest. You know, you got to be able to build the bridge and move on. I said the same thing to Chaz when it came to Vanessa. Very much different situation, but it's the same ending. If it don't work out, you got to know how to move on. And actually, your biggest concern is looking like a simp, looking like a punk. You look like a simp. You look like a punk when you get on and you keep begging and pleading, asking, looking like you ain't really got something. When you say you got it behind the scenes, talking about all the chicks you have, you actually look the opposite. When people don't, I don't know, some people don't realize that. When you run around saying, oh, I'm rich, yeah, you don't look rich. You don't look rich when you do that. You don't look like you get a lot of girls when you say you get a lot of girls. And actually, when you act like you don't get a lot of girls. Because if you got a lot of girls, what you would do is, if Maya's moving funny, and we're going to just take your word for truth, right? When you know you got another chick coming down the line, right? You're not going to sweat it. You got other baddies that are badder than Maya, because that's what he told us using his words. Then it's going to be no sweat off your back, because you're going to be like, hey, a player's going to play. And there's going to be another one another day. So I'm going to just move on, because guess what? You blocking my next chicks that want to come to me. You actually standing in my way, baby girl. So you know what? Thank you. Thank you for making room. That's what you need to do. You need to move around. And that's the problematic thing, because when you don't move around, when you continue to carry on, you hold on, you begging, you pleading, it don't get you nothing. And you know what it actually does, Laron? And I mean, I'm not a woman, but I know quite a few. Is that you dry up the cooch, Laron. You dry up the cooch. So if you wanna open up that cooch to be ready for you, to be receptive, you want those walls to be opening for you, bro, I'm going to give you a bit of advice. Move on. Because the more you publicly proclaim something from another woman that's in the street saying she don't want you, whether she wants you or not, but she in the street saying she don't want you, it's not making you look good, bro. It's not making you look good. So just stop, breathe, take a breath. You sometimes just got to breathe, because we don't breathe enough. You breathe. And you be like, you know what, baby girl? You taught me a good lesson, and I'm going to move on. I'm going to wish you well. Give her a dead rose. I'll take the dead rose. Just go. Because I want it to be dead. I'm tired. I'm just tired. I want it to be dead. I want it to move on. I know Maya has already committed to coming on the channel and interviewing with Kojo. So I can't wait to hear her side of it, whatever that side may be. You know, again, I feel like she's wrong for even entertaining him. Because just like Jay said, you entertain somebody like that, they're going to build a whole 50-part series. It's Risa Laron. It's Risa Lisa Laron part 2. Who the F did I go on Ready to Love with? Why the F did I go on Ready to Love is the new Laron series. So I'm going to end on that note.
I'm going to give a moment of silence just for this. After that benediction that Sean gave, just a moment of silence before I go on. All right, now that relationship is dead. All right. I just want to get into this little part, because everybody, listen, I told y'all, Maya's going where the money resides. But here's the thing. I cannot play a person who is not willing to pay to play or be played. Just like, shout out to Mary for 10. She said it herself. Maya didn't go after Chaz because Chaz peeped Maya already. Okay? Laron was an easy target. At the end of the day, y'all want to sit here and say that she played Laron. No, Laron played himself. That's why he is so mad right now. That's why a lot of other people are mad, because they've been in Laron's position of playing themselves at the end of the day. He lied to himself to believe that he was doing something in favor of the girl to get her vote for him. If She is running around here. If he can literally prove text, and they have text messages, text voicemails, I don't know, somebody tap into his phone right now and bring up evidence of her saying, I want this and I want that. Do this for me. Take me here. Not suggestions, literally telling this man, I want these things or I will not talk to you. Then you cannot accuse her of playing him. If he is going out of his own free will, his own fruition to go and buy her things and saying, I need my lady, I need to keep my girl, I got to get my girl back, whatever the case may be, however he felt that he needed to get in Maya's good graces, if he did that at all on his own, that is on Laron. If he want to go and spend his whole ready to love check, blow the whole wad on her, that is on Laron. That is not on Maya. So stop trying to say that she played him. You cannot be played by anybody but yourself at the end of the day. You jump into the ring. You are now a contestant of the game. You are now a player. So you choose to play against yourself at the end of the day. If you did not see this woman coming and say, you know what, I need to peep her out a little bit more before I buy her anything. Let me decide if she even worth my time. Like Sean said, if she's giving me the quality time to invest in her, is there going to be a return on my money? Well, sir, you just made a poor investment into that girl. Okay. It's no other way about it. Like Sean just got through saying, if she didn't show you nothing, so why would you go and open up your pocketbooks for somebody? Okay. Especially when you're sitting here telling us how that you got all these bad bees everywhere. You can get this one. Your ex was better than the last one, the next one, and all this stuff like that. If this is not your regular routine, and I'm going to go back to the same statement before, you would not be worried about being a simp for anybody if you got it in the first place. If you got it, it ain't tricking. You know what I'm saying? It's not tricking if you got it. So if you already have the money, you would not be worried about, oh, I am spending this amount of money on this person to get in her good graces. Did she ask you to do it? Now, if you can, I'm just going to say, if he can, I'll stand corrected. If he can sit here and prove, and without a shadow of doubt, I don't want no cockamamie text. I don't want the half text. I want the full thing from this date all the way to this date, that she has sat here and asked for every last thing that he has said on these panels and ran around all these platforms and told us that he did for her. If she has literally asked for these things, not him volunteering, hey, the Drake concert is coming to town next week. Do you want to go? So he can spend time with her. If he can sit here and show us this, then I would stand corrected and sit there and be like, okay, well, she used that man. But up until then, I cannot hold her accountable of using him at all if he is free willing to open up his pockets to spend his money up on her. That just sounds like a person who is going over to red light district to get them a little peep show and dropping the coin up in there and then get mad when the peep show closed down too fast. That is not the peep show's problem. And your coin wasn't stretching long enough. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Put a little bit more up in there. I don't know what to tell you.
Last comment on Laron. I think it's somebody who mentioned about women don't like, and I agree. I think there's something sexy about a man who can, not that women intentionally reject men, but when you see a guy and he can take rejection, there's something as a woman that makes you feel like, oh, why was he so okay with it? That makes you want to understand what's going on. And then that should, like, women are more likely to come back if they feel like a guy can handle rejection or can handle a no. I think there's something sexy and confident about that when men do that. So just a word of advice to Laron. This thing that he does when somebody says no or rejects him, that he goes back, you know those guys when you say, I don't want you, then they go back and be like, yeah, I didn't want you anyway. That's so unattractive. Please don't do that. Like, there's no way no one is going to come back at you. Like, there's no way.
Now, I will say this, Penny. Some men some men take you on that second chance. You got one time to tell me no, and I'm going to stand on business.
No, but I think that's attractive. I'll respect you because even though it doesn't ever get to anything, I'll look back and be like, that was a confident man. That's sexy. Like, I could respect that. But if I turned around and said no, and then you were like, yeah, I didn't want you anyways. I'm like, this is the reason I didn't want this. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so,
Yeah, but I think some guys, and that might have even happened with Laron, right? You get that first dismissal, and then you keep turning around. You might get a little rebuff, and then you turn around and you keep going, or you keep pushing. And then you think you're getting a little something. Hey, listen, sometimes women, women have the right to change their minds, and they often do, right? So they might even just give you a little window. It might be a lonely night and they're bored, and they might let you in to the room. It doesn't mean you're there for a long time. So that's why I don't want nobody's crumbs. I don't want nobody's pity opportunity, because this is what you're going to always be doing. You're going to be in this position of being breadcrumbed. And I think that is likely what happened. You take a little bit, and then you're just gonna run with it. You whatever little bit you get, whatever little tidbit it is, it's not that the person doesn't want you. You got to be able to read the signs. You got to be able to read the signs. She told him everything he needed to know and how she felt about him in that park. Now, if she did go against her better judgment to go back, and you thought you was going to have love, I think a lot of that's on you. And it's bad on her for thinking that you're going to take this guy who is all in or all out, because he's very much all in or he's all out. So when he's all in and all out, you see that energy and you're going to still entertain it. That's when you get the craziness. You're going to get 5 minutes in. I love her. Y'all are making us break up. Second girl, she ain't the baddest. She ain't all of that. I get chicks. I got chicks. They lined up for me. Okay. Then that's the inconsistencies, because he's all in and he's all out. And I think that, unfortunately, Laron needs to settle into who he is. And I think that will come with time and doing some self-work. Once you get comfortable with who you are, everybody don't have to be a player. Everybody's not built for that. I'm not built for it. I'm a romantic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to get comfortable with who I am. And when I realized who I am, I go after the waters and the lakes that I'm used to. You go chasing them other waterfalls, you're going to get drowned, knocked out, tossed around. And that's why I stay in my lane, And once I get the inclination, I'm not saying, oh, I've never been rejected. I have. But trust me, it's only you get one good time. And the door, when the door shuts, it's like a vault. It's closed. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be cordial. But we ain't going to be cracking that door for you to think, oh, you got an opportunity, or you're going, oh, Sean, this is coming up. I'm going to be in your town. Can we maybe hang out? No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be free, But if you go, let me know how it is. It's what you got to do.
Now y'all know you playing. Y'all know y'all playing. Now, I wanted to say, hey, I'm with you guys. I'm standing with you guys. I'm with it. I understand where you guys are coming from. I totally get it. Okay?
What's with this sexy voice? What is with this sexy voice? What are we doing?
The fact that you think it's sexy is telling me the Holy Spirit's working.
He's trying to get like me. See, wait, don't let him fool. He's trying to reel me in.
Right. What is both of y'all doing today? Y'all are killing me.
Hold on now. Hold on. We got to get into this.
Go ahead, Kojo. Go ahead.
We got to get into this. I got you, Siwe. Now, let me just say this first and foremost. I totally understand what you mean about Laron and his behaviors. He fumbled the bag. He messed up. He caused his own issues. But we're gonna suddenly dismiss Maya from the situation. You're saying that when someone's giving you gifts, at what point do we know that she didn't like him? At what point did we know that she didn't like him? Did she say that? If she did say it, then we do have to hold her accountable. Because first and foremost, you were going out with him on several occasions. Those were at least the pictures that we saw, right? So you was out with him because you was out in the club and you guys were there, right? So this guy you didn't like, okay, spending time with you, okay, and you don't like him, right? Then that would be classed as playing. It's just that simple. Like he got played, and he has to take the L. I agree, and he played himself because I don't like men leading with money. I've said this all the time. You play yourself when you lead with money, But you also have to look at the other angle, which is the person also played. Because if you weren't really interested in the person, you playing the person. Unless are we all agreeing that Maya actually was interested in him? Are we all agreeing? You just have to nod your head or just shake your head. You know what I mean? Like, are we agreeing that she liked him? Like, so, I think I think a majority of us would be like, we don't think she liked him like that. So then she would have been
I
playing him
cannot
because if
confirm
she,
or deny.
you out of order, baby. But and so the language is really interesting, right? We're saying he played himself. Well, let's role reverse this, right? If this was a woman in this situation, would we be saying that she played herself and then not mention anything about the dude? No, we would mention the dude as well. We'd bring them both. It would bring them both before the courts. What we're doing right now is what happened with Jesus and the woman that the people accused. They brought the woman, but not brought the man. And they drew in the sand line. Yes, we gonna go there.
No,
Yes,
no.
I'm gonna go
And,
there.
and no, once
Yes,
again,
we
I
gonna
was
go
stand,
there.
I was stand 10 toes down on just bringing her up to account of playing herself. Y'all know, and I've been accused of victim blaming several times before. So y'all know I was stand that. I can't speak for everybody else now. I'm not Vanessa. I can't speak for y'all. Y'all got to speak up for yourselves.
People think that I have an allegiance. I don't have an allegiance to Laron. That's why he got 4 or 5 videos. There's no allegiance there. What I am is I'm trying to see a multitude of different angles and different sides to certain things, right? Like at the end of the day, I've already said he played himself, and I agreed with that. What I'm saying is, I think we do need to and it's not like, oh, Maya did so bad in playing him. No, the reality of the situation is, if you're accepting gifts or anything like that from a person you don't like, you are playing. That's the whole point. If you are accepting any kind of gifts, going out with a person, knowing you don't like the person, then you are playing. That's all we're saying. So Laron is still has to be held accountable for his diabolical behavior, and it's not a cause and effect as to why she did what she did. At the end of the day, right? Maya did what she did because she wanted to do what she wanted to do. Like Sean was saying earlier on, women gonna do what they're gonna do, men gonna do what they're gonna do. They don't have to think about what the other person's doing. I've already held Laron accountable, so this is not a biased view. I've held him accountable. Like, this is privately and publicly. So I don't have no fear of LeBron. My thing is just saying, hey, look, I can see that, in that situation, I brought up that clip of Maya saying that, oh, he don't really want me. I was like, baby, this guy's been chasing you for the longest. The guy was screaming and shouting because you were talking to another dude. You know the guy likes you. You know you've not been together, but you've been talking, getting together, going out places, accepting places to go, whatever, going to concerts, when in between a whole entire time up into the show. Right, up until the show aired. So clearly there's been some level of relationship in some form. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So that's all it is. I'm just saying, like, let's the language is quite interesting that we're saying he played himself, which is fair, you know what I mean? Then every woman that went come with Chaz played themselves too, you know what I mean? And I just wanted the language to be a little bit balanced. That's all.
We can't have the language balance because we didn't get the inside text. Sorry, coach. We didn't get the screenshot and all that stuff like that.
No, he put the pictures on. He put the pictures on Instagram.
No, but those
pictures where he's up in their neck.
But those pictures could have been taken during the season.
No,
those
that's
pictures
not
could be
enough.
taken during the season and stuff. I don't know when those pictures are taken. There's no time.
Okay.
They
They might be okay. So let's say they were taken for the season. You guys were doing stuff
because he's
outside
also
of the
got
show.
pictures of him with a whole bunch of other chicks randomly.
Yeah, I agree.
And stuff. So I can't.
I'm not disagreeing. Now.
Yeah.
I'm saying okay. We don't know that it's a definite timestamps because I don't know that.
Yeah, you
let's say
got
that.
a little more inside info, so I see where you're coming from, but I don't have that, so I'm going.
No, it's not even according to the text or anything. Just that we're seeing the pictures where you're all up in her neck. So there's some kind of like in there because he's all up in your neck. You know what I'm saying to you? And you take a photo with it. So I gotta look at it some type of way, right?
If I have to look at it that way, I don't mean to cut you off, but if I have to look at it that way, I'm letting somebody all up on my neck. That means I kind of also like them to let them that close in my space too. You know what I'm saying?
So are we agreeing that Maya liked him then?
If I have to take those photos for true, and there's something that about him she probably did like. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. I'm still going to go with the girl. She might not like it, but I go where she goes, where the money resides. She likes the money or the benefits that he has for her. You know what I'm saying? She can come and argue me different. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But I don't know her or Laron to know anything different because I just look at her as how quickly she switched from William to Laron. And it was just like, why you make such a big change when both men was literally pursuing you or whatever. And maybe she thought LaRon might have bring more peace until he didn't too. I don't know, but I have to say there's something that was there. She might just like the whole pursuit of things, and when the pursuit no longer existed, maybe she don't like him anymore either. I don't know. Some people are weird like that too.
No. And Jay, that's, you know what? You've touched on something. And you know, when sometimes you're playing, your guilt can sometimes come. I'm not saying this is 100%, this is my theory. Your guilt can come out, right? Because what does she accuse him of? She accused him of, you don't really want me. You just want me to say I love you. So the one that, yeah, because sometimes when you're playing, your guilt transfers and how you project onto the other person. That's just my theory. I'm not saying that's 100%. I'm just offering another angle to the situation. It might not be. What's going on? I don't know if anyone, and I see Sean looking at me. So
I don't think it's, I think I can agree with you saying that. Sorry, Sean, you going? I was just gonna say I don't think it's fair that she gives mixed signals and mixed feelings. I think that's not fair on her part. I think there's something there where she has to own that she wasn't integral in being honest about where she was. And even when she was being honest, she was like, I just need to see where this is going. That's also leading somebody on. You're kind of making it seem like there is something there, but in your actions, when you're sitting down, you could see that there's space between the two of you. Like there's a lot of things that show that she was not interested, but she was also being open to the idea. And in her defense, maybe that could have been the case, that she was just trying to see where it was. I think where it becomes challenging is when you start now receiving gifts, knowing fully well you probably don't like him, going out with him like to events, maybe because you know he's going to get you into the best clubs. Because girls do, we do that. Like sometimes, like she said, she rolled up with people. It was not a date in her mind. She was like, I'm rolling up my girls. When it's at that moment and there's never been a one-to-one, when I'm calling my girls to come to an event with a guy that's meant to be mine, you're not, we're not exclusive. You know, I think, and I hate to use her words, but you're a fun guy. And it's sad, but she's playing into what he is. He's a fun guy. He's the guy that gets us into sports. He's the guy that buys us drinks. And I think that frustrated him probably when he realized that, actually, girl, you're playing me. And now I'm going to expose you. Maybe that was his whole run. Maybe this is where he's at. He's like, I'm going to expose you for what you did in terms of pretending like you were actually with me when really you were just playing all along. For me, it's like, just remove us from the WhatsApp chat, because it's so messy and it's not necessary.
that's all we're saying. You know,
And
it's
this
just
is
the
the crazy
strength
thing.
of what she said. You know,
Wait, hold on 1 second. So I think I just want to be clear, because I mean, if I was part of that, I very clearly said Maya needs to be held account for entertaining him for too long. Now, by entertaining him, I mean it's being with him and then, or hanging out with him, whether they were in a dating situation or a relationship or a situationship, whatever their agreement was. She entertained it for too long, because there came a time, we know his timeline, we don't know her timeline yet, but based on what she said when she did come in the comments recently, they've never been together, right? So never been in a relationship. So whatever time that she was entertaining him was too long, because it was long enough for him to make more of it than he should have. It was entertaining the gifts or anything that he gave her. That's where she miscalculated, because to me, this is why I don't get all bent out of shape about this. And I guess when you get of a certain age and stage and you like to do things, I like to do things. I like experiences. So if I'm going to date a woman, if we go out, we're going to do something nice. I may spend a few $100s. You know, I've done it before. You know, we spent the whole day, on a beach, on an island, doing a ferry ride. Hey, but I wanted to do it too. It was for me too. And it didn't work out. She didn't owe me. She doesn't owe me anything for doing that. It's something that I made an honest choice to do. Could she have said no? Yeah, she could have said no, but we enjoyed ourselves and we had a good time. So I just hate this notion of, if you're going to give somebody something and then things don't work out, it's like, oh, well, I gave you this. I bought you this. I bought you that. So now you got to, if you want to deal with transactional relationships, go where the transactions reside. And that way you can be guaranteed you're going to get what you're going to get at the end of it. Again, I led with that's also, it's a tricky thing when that's how he leads. He leads with I can do this. He leads with an I can do that. And then I'm going to just wrap it up by saying, we've socially hung out with a lot of ready to love people. Them being at the club and them buying a table is nothing. We've gone to DC, Houston. Tables have been bought for us. Sometimes we contributed to the tables. JC Way, none of the guys that did that expected anything from them. It was a good time. And that's how they treat each other. That's how they treat each other as well, especially if you're from their city. The people in DC, if you're from the city, they're cool with you and they're like, yo, I'm here at Park. Come through. I got a table. Bet. I'm here. That's how people roll. So I don't feel like, oh, so we should presume that because she showed up. And she showed up, from what I understand, with cast members. Sometimes people might be like, oh, I'm with my other friend. You know, can she come through? Yeah, come through. And it's like we have moved and navigated in those spaces with these same type of people from the show, and it's never been an issue. Somebody could be talking to another girl. You know, hey, I could have said, oh, hey, Kojo, case in point, we went out with a couple of people, you know, in DC the last time we was there. We called up 2 of our homegirls, come through. One couldn't come, one came. She was chilling with me most of the night. However, had she talked to another guy, I'm not flipping out. She didn't. Hey, she didn't, though. She did not. Let's be clear. She stood by your boy's side. She did not. She did not dance with anybody else, you know, perhaps Kojo, but that's it. You know, my brother. But hey, if she did, trust me, your boy would not have been flipping out. I would have looked to my left and my right and been like, okay, I see what time we on, and we'd have moved on. You know what I mean? Like, you have to navigate these. And I'm not a player. Don't get me wrong. Not trying to be a player. Say I'm a player. Say I'm up on all the game. No, I'm not. I'm not even gonna cap and try to act like I am. But I do know how to navigate with women. And if you know how to navigate with women, you are not going to get caught up in all this minutia. That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, you bought this. Okay, you bought that. Well, bro, if you got it, then you got it. And if you don't got it, don't buy it, because you haven't sealed the deal of the relationship. You haven't sealed the deal of what you really want. So that's my issue with him. If you haven't sealed the deal of the relationship, don't get me wrong, because he don't come in here, oh, we did this. Yeah, but you still are at the end crying. Because if it was the little things that you got that you were happy with, then you would be about your business. You wouldn't be crying on our screens talking about, we broke up your relationship. Own broke up your relationship. So if you want a relationship, you need to do the things that are going to set you up with the woman that wants to be in a relationship with you in return. She clearly did not want that.
I'm not even mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Sure, I definitely hear that. I think there's a part to play that I think we do need to. There's that gray area, right? Like, again, this is the reality of life, where it's dark arts, and the best dark artists are the ones that don't look like dark artists, right? It's taking advantage of the gray area, right? There's a gray area where people haven't said something, but you can feel their intentions. You can feel what they want, and you can feel what they desire. Right? It's almost like, as a guy, we know when a girl's feeling us, right? And she's doing a couple things for us, right? Now she's baking and she want to cook for you. No one said nothing, right? No one said nothing. But at the end, you know, maybe it works out like the situation, right? You go out a couple of times and it's just vibes. No one's really said nothing, right? But then the person starts feeling some type of way, right? And they feel like, you know, they were feeling you, and in that point, you know, you might not have been feeling them that same way, but you at a point knew that they were starting to feel you. Their intention and their desire was starting to come through, and you can feel it, right? And this happens to women a lot of times. Right? I'm not saying that mine is necessarily wrong. I'm just saying that I'm just highlighting something as a behavior. As men, they do this all the time. They play in what we call the gray area. When you don't define it and you don't say it, like you said, he don't have no jurisdiction to tell her about the club situation. It's merely a courtesy. But it's an unwritten rule, right? But if you feel like you had a connection where you were trying to get to a certain place, you're gonna feel some type of way. Now, he's not right to blow up the way he did. I've already said this. He had no jurisdiction to blow up in that particular way, because that wasn't your girl. Number two, you didn't come to the club with her alone specifically. Now we found that he didn't come out specifically with her alone, because when he originally told the story like a lie, it was a lie. He told it like as if he had invited her first and it was just them two, but it weren't. So obviously, you know, but it's more about the fact that there are feelings in there, and when the feelings come through, right, and intentions are being made, the other party, right? If they're a mature person and there's somebody who doesn't want to play you, they're gonna be like, hey, look, I'm starting to see some behaviors looking a bit, and I know I can start for your intentions. Before it gets to a place where I don't think it needs to go to, I want to let you know, listen, I'm just not there. Now, a lot of us probably won't do that because we're going to get some benefits from the situation. And we're happy to take the benefits. And then we're going to happily turn around and tell you, listen, but I didn't say I want a relationship with you. This is what we call the gray area. So, of course, now she can turn around and say she didn't want a relationship, didn't want a relationship. But, baby, by all means, don't pretend as if you didn't know that man was coming after you. Let's not pretend. That guy is so bait with it, and not in a good way either, right? Simpish in a way, right? That it's obvious that he's wanting that. So at that point, he's messed up. Yes, he's played it. He's played his hand incorrectly, and he has to be accountable for his own life. That's why I don't like that chat about we cost the relationship, own cost the relationship. You cost yourself the relationship, my brother. We ain't got nothing to do that. And that lack of accountability for me is problematic on Laron's perspective again, but. In amongst that, if she pretends as if she didn't know what was going on, I don't know anyone else who's nuzzling there. I'm not nuzzling your neck, Jay. I'm not nuzzling your neck, Penny. And if I do nuzzle on your neck, you should know my intention at that point. I'm either trying to get some sex or I'm trying to be in a relationship with you and I'm liking you. At that point, you then got to tell me that, okay, I'm not feeling the boy like that. But if you keep allowing me to play in that space, yes, now you're starting to play because you may not necessarily feel me that particular way. Now, maybe she was waiting to see if her feelings would change. Maybe she was actually trying to see if she can make a relationship work. Right? But when you come on the screen and say, hell no, we never had a relationship, that tells me you were never in that situation in the first place because you ain't even got no respect for the person. You know what I mean? Yeah. Go for Jay.
I'm hearing what you're saying. Okay, so we're going to go back to my friend that's of 10 years. That's no longer my friend of 10 years. Okay. It was a similar situation of where they wanted to talk to me. I have told them. Now, I told them, I even to the point of showing them, introducing them to current relationships that I was in at the time or whatever, trying to show there is a friendship. This is all we have. This is all we're going to be. Some people's minds work in a particular way is, I still have a chance. You remember the movie Dumb and Dumber? When she told him, it ain't a million and something chance that you're going to, he said, oh, so I still have a chance. Some people's mind work in that same particular way. Now, I'm not going to say, because I said she goes where the money resides or whatever and stuff like that. I'm going to put it like that. I'm not going to say that didn't cloud her decision on taking him back or entertaining him or whatever it is that may let them all the way up until recently, as he put it. Okay. But I can also see where it is, I'm still not actually in a relationship with you, though I'm entertaining you. You are carrying on this thing as if it's more. So you're doing relationship benefits. As they tell us, don't be giving the man relationship wifey benefits when we're not his wife. He's doing relationship benefits, but not in the relationship with her. You know what I'm saying? And this is hypothetical. I don't know, allegedly, because I really don't know the ins and outs of this. This is just a perspective that I'm seeing from this. He can be buying her all these things and she can be like, hey, you still in the friend zone. Once you give me a gift by court law, it's a gift. You can't ask me to take it back or nothing like this and stuff like that. It is a gift. You have gifted me this thing at the end of the day. It is like, oh, it's Christmas time. Remember, never mind. I can't say what I was going to say. But if you're doing certain favors around holidays, birthdays, this, that, and the third, what am I supposed to do? I'm taking it as a friend. Now, if these said gifts are coming around at these type of times, what am I supposed to, you know what I'm saying? I can't tell her not to take it from her. Now, if she is on the background in the text messages again, or on the phone telling him, hey, Laron, you know, we going to be this, that, and the third. I'm with y'all. She's playing the heck out of him because she just wants something out the end of the day because she don't want this man. My biggest problem really with Maya is none of the gift parts, not if she's using him for this, that, and the third. If you're saying you want peace, peace is over everything. You left William for your peace. You've seen all of this about this man. This is where I have the biggest issue with Maya. You've seen all of this about this man. If you have given him the second, third, fourth time to sit here and all these months continue to play it in your face, that's what I have the problem with. Because you were sat there and told this man, I have been down this road before, I know where it leads, and you still walking down this road with him again. So I don't care if it's for money, if it's for to hang out with clubs, if it's for him to introduce you to somebody down the line. You see where that got these people that's messing around with Diddy, you know what I'm saying? Allegedly. You see where that got them. Some people is not going to lead you to the promised land. If they are giving you a hard time to get what you want, it is not God's intention for you to be with that person. You should have left them alone in the first place. God was giving you the whole sign when he sat here and had this man do whatever he did at this club, storm out, whether he said the B word or not, but he stormed out. He got an attitude and left y'all at the club. That was your sign right there. Leave it alone. When he walked away from you in this picnic, that was your second sign for you to leave it alone. When he sat there and devised this whole thing with William, technically that was your first sign. Okay, you should have paid attention then. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just don't see the first one. But that was another sign. There was so many signs for Maya to just leave it the F alone. And so if literally we get on this reunion and she take him back, if we sit there and have these interviews that she entertained him some more after the show, baby girl, that's all on you. And that's all on you. You entertain the circus, okay? At this point, you're a part of it. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know what you want me to do. That's where I can hold her accountable, coach, or whatever and stuff like that. The playing thing, that's an issue. That's a ticky tack thing, because if I say she's playing him, then he at the same time is playing her, because both people, when you enter an arrangement with somebody, both of y'all using each other at the end of the day for something, one thing or the other. Now, is it going to be equal benefits? Are we going to invest in each other and using things? Sometimes it happens and sometimes it don't. Somebody gets the one up, sometimes somebody don't. It is what it is. But with her thing, she told us that she want her peace, and she didn't prioritize that over everything else. That's where I'm gonna hold her accountable, because that's where I would tell my homegirl, like, I don't want to hear no more about this damn relationship. I'm gonna tell you now, don't call me about this damn relationship, because you're gonna run back to this nigga in about a week or two. So call somebody else. And that's just flat out.
And Laron is the opposite of peace. That guy is chaos. He does not want peace. He wants trouble. Like, he literally loves chaos. Yeah, I don't know where she thought she'll find peace in him.
And she ain't gonna find peace in the club either. So I think listen, at the end of the day,
Kind of girl have a good time. What's that about?
See, I also don't even think about getting away with it.
What's that about? She just want to have a good time, a kiki moment.
No, I think Laron is guilty of assigning himself the club playboy type dude, and he can't shake it. That's all she sees him as, the good time guy that's gonna go out to the bar, spend some money, and buy drinks. She don't see him as a romantic connection, and that's why I think he's frustrated. He's probably mad at himself. He's definitely mad about seeming like he's being taken for a ride, but he's going along for the ride. Like, the moment she told him on the show that she's not feeling him no more, that was his cue to get the message and move on. If he gets baddies and he gets bees and all these other different things that he says he gets, that would have been the cue to leave. But the fact that he decided to keep on buying Drake tickets, concert tickets, hanging out, birthdays, Valentine's, all the other things that he says he did, I don't believe there was any exchange. I don't think there was any arrangement. I don't think there was any reciprocity. I think he was trying to win her over, but it didn't work. So yeah, he has a right to be mad at himself for putting himself in that situation in the first place.
I agree with that, and I can't wait to drop a video about that, because there's a lot to talk about that. That you play yourself with this thing when you try to buy somebody. You do have to be accountable. Like, I talk about dark arts, but I also talk about accountability on your side if you get played. You know what I mean? But I do think, Maya also too is very clever. You have to know how to play the game, and I'm not mad at it. Do you know what I'm saying? I always support dark artists in this game. You know what I mean? Until it gets diabolical. When it gets diabolical, I ain't with it. You know what I'm saying? When we're pulling out roses out of a rose petal pit, yeah, I'm not with that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not with that. Especially when you got FBI brothers and stuff like that. I'm not with it. That's people's phone getting hacked. We know how that got hacked now. But let me be kind, because he might try and attack this. But you know what? The Lord is on my side. Try me. No, don't try me. Don't try me. The Lord said I shouldn't test the Lord. But let's move it, because we've been here for a little while. We still got people. Yes, Sean.
Just real quick. So
Go for
I
it,
do
Kev.
want to have a vulnerable moment. Every season, if you guys know, I always put my little. I pack up I keep my cape in my drawer, and I pull it out and I put it on for somebody. So there was Mercedes. We don't need to go down the list, okay? Listen, I had several capes that I use. So I do, honestly, I got a little piece of a cape for Maya. I do. I got a little piece of cape for her. My sources tell me she will be interviewing with you. I want to hear baby girl's side, because I'm a little entrenched, but I want to hear her side, because my little piece of cape tells me there's some truth somewhere in the middle. Now, I'm not saying she's just an innocent person and everything. Laron is the villain in the story and she was just an innocent damsel in distress. No, everybody has their role. But my little cape tells me we're going to get a little more context, because Laron has just been bumping his gums and telling all the story. And I want to hear her side. I want to hear how long this relationship did take, what was the real context? What were her thoughts? What's her insight? Get to know a little bit of her, So that's what I wanted to just put out there.
Not a problem at all, sir. We appreciate you. Candid. It's been a great conversation. Obviously, quickly, we got Justin and Mika. I want to get your thoughts on that. We're going to round this up real quick. Before I do, actually, sorry, I haven't read out a super chat. Phil says, Laron is not right. However, men get called to the carpet for playing women, so Maya needs to be held accountable for playing with his feelings. Shout out to Phil, as always supporting the channel. And we appreciate your comments as well. Just to reset the room, we have 1,030 people on this live. I'm guessing because none of us got work on the Monday, so we appreciate y'all for sticking with us. But we like to put out some great content for you guys to always learn and appreciate the great diverse panel who are intelligent, smart, beautiful, handsome, delectable. You know what I mean? I just wanted to see who's gonna respond. Yeah. But we like to put out some great content. So listen, stick with us. If you haven't sign up for the membership, make sure you are signed up to the membership so you get to be able to comment and join in a lot of the fun coming up as well. There's a lot of carnage. We've got a new show we're doing at the moment. Was it I'll be saying, was it Marvin's Vineyard or Martha's Vineyard? Okay, so it's Martha's Vineyard. I said Marvin again, but it's Martha's Vineyard, and we're doing that as well. So joint between myself and Jay, some great content there as well. So watch out for those lives as well. Okay, cool. Justin and Mika, talk to me. What are we saying about Justin and Mika? Do you guys have some different thoughts? I want to know what you guys think about this situation. You know what I mean? The silence is deafening.
If they love it, I like it. Hell, if they like it, I love it. I mean, it's a which I've been saying the same thing the last few weeks. It's a situationship that is going right for now. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? She done came back here this week. The girl stayed all season long swiping people away, talking about, I don't want no more kids. Now it's a possible. Okay. Child, I mean, I told y'all sometimes for the right man, people will change their responses. Is Justin the right man? He's the right now. He's Mr. Right Now. So that's what I'm gonna give him. And this man want his space. I don't know. I mean, even the friend talking about, look, you got to know, you got to give him 6 to 8 business days of recovery time after spending with you. I don't know. Some people, I got a friend that's technically like this. After she spent a day with us, she's in recovery for some odd reason. You know what I'm saying? From people. I don't think we that bad. I don't know, but maybe we are. But she just don't like being around people that much. So I don't know if he's just that antisocial, that introverted, that he needs this much space. So we'll see. I can't give him too much. I don't know. It looks good. At least we got a couple at the bridge, or we had two. But this is the most promising couple of them all. You know what I'm saying? I can't put too much into Patrice and Zoe. So it's at least more promising. I seen some real kisses going on at least, you know what I'm saying? So a couple of things might have been happening, transpiring off screen. I really don't know, don't care. But if it works for them for now, it's great.
I think what worries me is the standard has been so low this season that we are more excited for Mika and him. And I think that just shows that the quality of maybe couples of the people weren't that great. Because it's quite clear that he's being very honest that he's probably he's not into her as much as she is, even though he's coming across as nice. He's really not into her, because coming with a lot of blockages of saying, I need 3 to 4 hours before I can talk to you, that's a lot from a guy. I think he's already telling you that I just don't like you enough to talk to you or engage with you. And I think where she goes wrong is saying that she possibly will have a child with him. If he doesn't respond the way she wants, she'll resent him, because her first initial position was, I don't want children. So this idea of doing it for you is a lot of pressure. So she's going to put a lot of pressure on him anyways, because she's going to expect a lot more from him. And this is where she needs to be careful. She better wrap up, because God forbid she gets a child. Since he doesn't want to talk 3 to 4 hours, she needs to buy milk. Where she go find him? Where he doesn't want to pick up the calls, because he needs his alone time, but he has a kid. You see what I'm saying? So it's very dangerous. And I hope and the fact that she's also having to prop him up by saying, trust me, don't be in your head. Like, she's doing a lot of work, and it looks like she's not, but it's subtle. She's more into him than he is. And he's a nice guy. I think there's an attraction and a chemistry. Who wouldn't? And every time he talks about her, it's about her body, which it's amazing. She worked hard for it, but it's telling. Even when he's talking to the brother, like, oh, you just watch out for her body, watch out for. Like, I think, yeah, that's telling. He never talked about her personality, and whenever she also responded, he was like, yeah, this is how she is. She's always going to be on top of you, and he never said it in a way that was positive. It was more that be aware that she's always going to call you out. I don't think he likes that about her as well. Yeah, so I think he's attracted to her, and he said it. I think he's sexually attracted to her, and I think the chemistry is there. But I don't think there's a long-term relationship there where they can maintain long-term. I don't think they're a good fit, in my opinion, which is unfortunate.
Hearing you loud and clear on that. Okay. All right. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I really I do like the energy that they have. I like the energy. I like her smiling. I like her letting down her walls. Um, similar to what Penny just said, I'm just not 100% sold yet. Like, I haven't heard enough from Justin to make me think he's truly really invested in a long-term relation. Even when he sat down with his brother said to him, like, you sure you're ready for this? Which means that's somebody that knows him very, very well. So for him to ask that question means there could be some level of doubt based on how he's operated in the past. Doesn't mean he can't change, but it sounds like that's still a question mark. And I just want to see more from Justin in that he's serious. And I don't know that yet. It was nice to hear him say he thinks it's going to be love, or he sees that. And I think that's when we saw Mika's wall kind of come down and then go back up, because she was like, oh, I don't know if I would say that. But then as she started to open up and talk about her feelings, they seemed deep. And I think she likes him. Now, where it's going to go, will she really have kids? I don't know. So I think we need to I think they just need that moment to sit with each other and really make sure it's going to be serious. But so far, I like what I see. I love that she smiles. When she opens up and smiles, I think it's a good thing. And I think, having somebody solid in your life keeps you focused on the right things. So hopefully they work out, but I don't know yet. I don't know if it's going to be a long haul.
Appreciate it. Let's shift it because listen, we've gone past our time. So, the last couple we're going to talk about obviously is a Patrice and Alonso. I know. Patrice and Alonso. The way Sean's shaking his head is telling me all I need to know. What's going on? Patrice and Alonso, diabolical behaviors, or understandably, can we understand it? Penny, why are you looking at that for?
What's going on? What's honestly going on there? What is going on? I'm sorry, I have a cold. Miss Patrice. She's a slick one, honey. She played the game well. We need to learn from Patrice. The way she operated in this whole season, I think she's the biggest player of all of Ready to Love. This woman maneuvered swiftly with a smooth character, but she was playing chess and not checkers. People say it. I think she was very attracted to this guy, but she clearly knew that there was nothing long term. I mean, even all the questions with the friend, even the friend was uncomfortable with some of those questions that were being asked about. So what's the plan? And he was talking about, I haven't put out pictures because I just don't want to create a home yet. Excuse me, sir? I mean, she didn't even believe that answer herself in that moment. But I was so fascinated by the fact that she didn't choose Chaz because of chemistry. She knew that as well. Like, she's the one who inserted herself into the whole equation and then used that as a reason for it not to have worked. I was like, baby, what were you trying to do? Were you just trying to power play? There's something there about power for her that she plays really well with men. I think she likes the control. And for me, Alonso is an easy target because he's very nice. So she's in control of that whole relationship. And I think she enjoyed dominating or playing Chaz a little bit and just leaving him at, wanting her. I think she really enjoyed that because she knew that there was never chemistry. You instead he never wanted you. You put yourself in the equation. And then you're like, oh, you're a lovely man, you have everything. But unfortunately, because there's no connection, I don't see it. I'm gonna leave. She enjoyed that moment. She really likes to dominate, man. And she only chose this guy because she thought she was gonna control him. Obviously, what we're seeing from the clip from the reunion, he played because he's a boy. What do boys do? They play. So I think Sis was really surprised. But Patrice, yeah, I think for her it's a power play, and I think she was just sexually attracted to the guy. She's just having a good time in this moment in her life. She's doing a Stella got her groove back moment. I don't think it was as deep and serious for her. I just don't see it. Because you can't say you want a solid man and then go for a guy who doesn't have a plan. It doesn't make sense. And then you introduce Chaz to your mom in a different way. This is the type of man you'd want who's really smart. But then you're going for butterflies. You gotta know what you want, especially at her age after being married twice. And the way that she also manages, like she's a very good at she's a comedian. Like when she's with Chaz, she'll dress differently. She was covered up, her tattoos were covered when she met up with her brother. She knows how to, she's a comedian in wherever she's at. That's why she's always like, yeah. And then when she's with Alonso, she dresses more young, she lets her tattoos out. It's just the small subtle things that she does. Yeah, I think she just got somebody who was more into her. She was lucky in that way. And she used him the whole way. This is where women use men. They're just more sleek. And it looks much more pretty. But she used that guy, which is so sad.
Hey, this whole situation, it's just really, I mean, look, the way Alonso was sitting by himself at that barbecue while Patrice was all up in Chaz's face, sitting up next to Vanessa talking about sister wives. Patrice, do better, because at the end of the day, you did all of that, and then you're gonna still wind up choosing Alonzo after you done played in his face. And from the reunion, it looks like she might have miscalculated. She too might have been better off choosing herself, because Alonzo said, "You gonna have me running around." Alonzo, he did it right. Because if it's true, he did it right. Because this is how you don't go off looking like a simp. Because he said, "Patrice, you gonna have me looking down bad. I'm doing museum dates, shutting down museums. I'm being romantic. Your brother's calling me goofy. I'm enduring a lot. You up here praying in closets with Chaz, leaving me to myself. You leaving me at the park bench, swinging my legs, while you up in here cheesing and grinning and skinning with Chaz. And then you gonna say you choose me? Okay, choose me. I choose you too, boo. But guess what? I'm gonna do it in the real world. You did it on TV. I'm gonna do it in the real world. Let's talk about it. Now, I don't think it's right. I'm just saying that's kind of what it looks like. It's not what it looks like. You get what you get and you don't pitch a fit, because Patrice did a whole lot of playing in that process. And hey, I get it. I understand. Chaz's brother told us, isn't this a process where multiple people are dating and getting to know each other? So we understand that that's what was happening. But Patrice, baby girl, you were scrounging up at the 9th hour, picking up people at the finish line to try to close deals. That was not good. That just didn't look good. And at this very end, at the end, when we about to get to the bridge in a couple of days, you up here still smiling in Chaz's face, trying to assess whether you get butterflies or not. Then you try to come back to me? Yeah, I'm not with it. So she got what she got and he got what he got. I just hope they can they can end amicably and nobody got to be tussling and fussing and stealing anybody's bonnets. So that's what I think.
I rest my case.
Wow. Well, I mean, listen. Anyone else got any thoughts before we wrap it up? The way you laughing is killing me.
No, I agree with everything that Sean said.
Oh, see, I thought you was gone, baby.
Oh no, I'm here.
Sorry.
Me too.
I was in the back, but I do think that maybe Patrice was doing dark arts to help Vanessa. Is that a possibility? Was she trying to help Vanessa?
Patrice was trying to win, baby.
She took one for the team.
But then outside of that, then she gonna be on top 5 right along with Chaz, because Patrice was a whole fool, and I don't know. A fool is what Patrice was. I
mean, if I have to choose my player for the season, she came, she saw, she conquered. She gets the MVP of the season, okay? If we have to go with the player award, it would be Patrice, because she came, she took Chaz all the way to the bridge, made him say, "I choose us." And she said, "I actually don't feel no spark between us." That means she's, as y'all was saying earlier, down there, okay, when it comes to Chaz, all right? She would rather go for the unstable studio apartment living Alonzo than Chaz and Nola and all the finances in the house and everything and stuff like that. So I'm going to go with C-Way's possibility. After everything Sean says on the logical side, I'm going to go with the C-Way thing, is that she did it for the girls' team. She brought home the gold.
But she didn't. This is a team full. This is a season full of.
She did it. If I gotta go players, you married now. You married now, and you're out the game. You know what I'm saying? But this is the player world. This you out the game. C-Way, you out the game. You on the pitch. You married.
Why did she win?
She won the gold prize of playing Chaz and made him take his own flower out the. see, he took a flower out of her bouquet this time and didn't give her that one. But he's trying to revive the flower.
You know why that fell short though, Jay? You know why that only reason why that would have ate but for, let me hit y'all with a but for. That would have ate but for Chaz giving an F. Chaz didn't want Patrice either. He over here just
I don't give a damn what he wanted. He got on that bridge and said, "I choose us." So therefore, we gonna choose.
I give her a small W. I give her a small W, but it ain't no big one. It ain't no capitalized.
You know, we know these people. Listen, these people don't get no money at the end of the day, so they got to take a win as a win, baby.
LaRon told us they got money. They get
$3,000
right. or something like that. Whatever he told us.
All right. Well, you know, she got her little change. She got her little gas money and stuff, and got to you know, bring it home. I mean, if she did it for Vanessa, she ride out. She did it for the homie.
Well, next week the preview shows that the prize she chose, man, didn't work out too well from what she was saying about what Alonso did.
JR, neither price she chose was gonna work out.
It was all about to go down here.
It didn't work out, man.
What print are you talking about? What print? What
didn't work out. On the couch, she looked pretty pissed and devastated about what he apparently was doing after the fact. So she still chose bad.
Well, she would have known that she was choosing bad if she was focusing on him instead of trying to add to Chaz's pool. If she would have actually focused on the connection she had, she probably would have figured that out.
She would have known she was choosing bad if she wasn't playing Captain Saver to everybody and being a friend in need when, you know, everybody's
down to the closet.
Yeah,
trying to get trapped in the closet with Chaz for no reason.
Because she only chose Alonso in the first place when everybody else didn't want him. So, you know, there's that. So,
and also,
it is what it is.
We don't know if Alonso used his level of petty to get back at her for making him sit back and watch her get connected to Chaz. And
I actually don't put that past him because
I wouldn't put past him.
He was dropping nuggets like the last couple of episodes. He was basically indicating that, like, you think I'm a goofy. But then he kind of let it go. This could have been the biggest dark arts could have came from Alonso.
Not you changing your stance from last night when you say you didn't see it, Seaway.
There you go.
Yes, I didn't see.
You said when we kept saying that you didn't see Alonso playing her from the thing or whatever stuff, him being out here, and me and Elle said was like, yeah, no, we seen it.
Oh, I didn't hear y'all say that.
He told her, because you don't remember in the house, he said to her, I felt like an outsider. And I told y'all, she gaslighted him last week. She gaslighted him when he said that. He said, I felt like, I was the odd man out in so many words. And she was like, no, don't feel that way. If it was you, I would have done the same thing. And she just dismissed his feelings. So he was like, boom, mental note, I got you. I got you.
Trust and believe that.
Now I'm going to ignore you. Because once you choose me, I'll choose you because I still like you. But guess what? Don't feel that way. I'm just doing me.
Wait. Patrice said, F5, I hit your battleship. Sunk on Chaz. Alonso said, G17, I take out your ship too. I didn't.
Said, gotcha.
Hey, Alonso came back and took one for he got it back for Chaz. No worries, Chaz. He got your back. Alley-oop.
Literally finished her. She looked like she was in deep in that reunion too. The poor girl. She really put her heart into everything. But I can't lie to you. Yeah, I probably would have done the same thing. Knowing that you switched the way she switched last minute, and he didn't even want you, which means you switched unnecessarily. You trying to be violent to me. So yeah, you go and get this work.
This smells of a Kojo. This is Kojo 101. Actually,
it really is. I can't lie to you.
You have to jump all over this theory because this is really you for real.
Because you ain't gonna do that to me.
But I'm just wondering, did Chaz remix that Rose scene because he was awfully nice to Patrice? Everything was about the one rose, so I'm gonna retain this one rose and I'm gonna tend to this one rose in the hopes that you come back around to me. What? First of all, bro, once you cut a rose, it's not like you can plant it and it's gonna grow. It's gonna die and be petrified, just like that last rose you gave Vanessa. So once the rose is out the bouquet, it's a done dizzle. My nizzle.
He's petrifying it for the next person to come. and Sean, listen, he took Corey's 895 class on paste and copy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what he's been doing all season.
Chad's gonna pop up with a potpourri business because he got all these flowers that he's holding on to, re-preparing, petrifying. Bro,
Well,
cut
y'all,
the crap.
he done gave his petrified rose to that lady of medium limited color, and I think he good. So we ain't got to worry about it.
She like the same complexions of UC way. What the hell is she?
Who are you talking about?
I'll talk about the one of medium limited color. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh, his current. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave that.
I'm like, what you talking about? You heard not to take.
I thought you were talking about Vanessa. I thought you were talking about Vanessa.
I was all confused. You know, Seaway gonna concoct a story and pull something together at the last second.
Y'all don't worry about his rose. Another lady got that rose. She good.
I hope he's not recycling those roses based on all the money he proclaims to have.
Well,
he need to get them forever roses. That's what he need to be given. If he was serious about Patrice,
mine have last for 2 years. I got the same forever roses from that.
Look at that, Jay. Look at that. And you got the gold dip rose. Look at that's next level right there, baby girl.
Was that from Chaz by any chance? Was that from Chaz?
I hope whoever gave that to you
can claim you.
Oh no, this is a real petrified rose. Okay, this is how they're supposed to come. Okay.
Okay.
Petrified.
What makes it petrified? What does that mean? Is it dipped in something or?
No, it's supposed to be like shocked. It's basically shocked into existence or whatever. But I don't know what made his dead. His was dead. Okay, like his was dead at this point. This is actual rose petals that are like dipped into something to make it last forever.
To preserve it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what Chaz had going on. He was just breathing on that rose over there.
I'm sick and tired. All right, listen, Sean. You gotta do what you gotta do, Deacon.
I can't even speak.
Okay.
Oh, you're allowing me, so I guess I'm out of purgatory now to be able to render.
You was always out of purgatory, sir.
Petty like Laron. Not you petty.
Listen, it creeps up every now and then. I told Jay I don't really have a petty gene, but like I'm a Scorpio, so it's like when you get me, I gotta get you.
You gotta sting back. I'm not mad at you.
LeBron is a Scorpio.
As you should.
LeBron's a
I just gotta get a
Scorpio.
little one-off, it's nothing too serious, but I just gotta warn you,
To all you Scorpios outside of my baby, okay? LeBron's a Scorpio. Diddy is a Scorpio.
Those are November Scorpios, please.
Don't put them. They male Scorpios, so y'all stay grouped together.
November, October Scorpios.
I have to separate them from my daughter. Okay.
Man, this November Scorpios are very, very petty. They're extremely petty. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
Shoot.
You teetering, Shy. You not that far away from November.
2 days, but hey, it's still 2 days. It's 48 hours. That was what Mercury's moon and a sunrise.
And it's not a full 48. What time on the 30th was you born?
In the morning.
That was.
No, seriously, because the next day is Halloween, and my mother was like, "I'm not giving birth to a baby on Halloween." So she was like, she was in labor with me for like 2 days almost. She was like, "No, it ends here."
Now she gonna put you down. She's like,
get behind me.
She said she prayed to God, and she also said, after this, I'm never doing it again, and that's why I'm an only child today.
Damn. All right, Deacon, take us away, man.
Well, listen, guys, we had a good time tonight. I think we learned a few lessons. I'm looking forward to the reunion. It looks spicy. But I think the lessons we learned is, one, be honest and be true to your intentions. And if you don't want somebody, don't talk to somebody. It's not nothing new, but I think we need to say it over and over and over again. Because unfortunately, what can happen is when you entertain the wrong person, when you let the wrong person into your space, into your life, they can wreak havoc, right? You got to read the warning signs. We've been saying this the last few weeks. When you drive on the road, look at the warning signs, right? If it's a red light, that means stop. If it's a stop sign, that means stop. If it says danger, that means do not go in that direction. You don't stop, you don't, wait a few seconds and keep going in that direction. When we ignore warning signs, this is what happens. On the other hand, nobody owes you anything, right? So we also have to, understand that people are not transactional. If you give somebody something, doesn't mean that you're going to get what you want in return. And if you're looking for an agreement, you need to have a meeting of the minds, right? For our legal people out there, a contract requires a meeting of the minds. If you don't have a meeting of the minds, then you have one agenda, the other person has another. You're never going to meet in the middle. So have an agreement, be on the same page for your relationships. And if it doesn't work out, please end in grace. If you started off liking them, you can end off liking them, just not liking them for the relationship. End it in grace. Let's be mature. Let's love one another. Less more love, less hate. Back to you, Coach.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, listen, audience, thank you so much. Y'all came out 1,100 strong. We appreciated you guys rolling with us, enjoying the great content. We'll be back again Monday where we do our Christian content. So if you're around for that, jump in for that. We have myself and Jay going live. I think you're gonna stick to Tuesday, Jay, for the Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, we're gonna stick to Tuesday.
Yeah, so we'll have on Tuesdays our Martha's Vineyard, and then later on that Tuesday, I believe I got Alonzo. He agreed, so he's going to do an interview as well. I think he wants to do a part 1 and part 2. So listen, hey, I said whatever you feel like, my brother. You want to tell your truth, tell your truth. I ain't gonna be mad at it. And so we're gonna have him on Tuesday night. I think around about 5:30 EST. I think it is or something like that. And so yeah, we've got that going on as well. And then we'll see for next and then the rest of the week we'll see what's going on. I'm trying to get some things organized for you guys, some other content as well, so that you guys can enjoy. So look out for that. But yeah, listen. It's been a great time. Thank you for those who joined the membership. We'll be back again, like I said, Monday night for the Christian content. Make sure they're Tuesday night for Martha's Vineyard, which I'm loving. Can't lie to you. Can't wait to see episode 2. Yeah, we will be back next Saturday for Ready to Love once more again. The reunion. Okay. All right. So we appreciate y'all.
And happy Resurrection Day. It's Easter.
Yes, this absolutely right. Absolutely right. Happy Resurrection Day indeedy. The good Lord has risen. Okay, so if you're feeling a little bit down, just know the good Lord has died for your sins. Okay, all right. Get you some Jesus on this good Sunday. All right, people. Appreciate y'all. Stay locked. Stay loaded. We'll see you soon. What are you gonna say, Jay?
I'm just saying to you, you misbehave every chance you get, but it's also not Easter here yet. I still got time.
No worries at all. Listen, I'm on my best behavior nowadays, okay? I'm a changed man, okay? I see the anointing and the glow in the ladies. I want you to continue that glow, okay? All right? We appreciate you. Yes, squint at me, Penny. We appreciate you. Love and peace and hope, guys. We'll see you again soon.